afford, these people realizing, hey, I have this ability to move up, they tried to move up and now they're being punished for doing something that they should have been instructed never to do in the first place by these same financial institutions.
I want to tell you there's two extremes. There was a time when the credit was cheap. You know, anyone could get it. And now there is a time when you may be, you know, you may be eligible, you may be qualified to get the loan, and you don't get the loan because Dodd-Frank ruling has made it so you do not have any more character loans.
It's unfortunate. I think it's a symptom also of the fact that we don't have local banks. All the local banks are being bought up by big banks.
Yeah.
So that personal relationship between you, the banker, and the person who is asking for the loan doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't exist. All you got to do now is to go on a computer, fill out the application. Nobody knows who you are.
Yeah, it's sad. I hope the credit unions take advantage of the opportunity that's in front of them.
Let's get into some fun stuff. I want to tell you about an ad that I saw that I thought was very interesting. Wear the same sari twice? Never again. Take a look. It's called Sari Closet. A sari rental service.
I'm not surprised by this. In fact, I'm surprised that this hasn't come up as an opportunity before. You can rent purses now. You can rent all types of different clothing, dresses and suits and tuxedos. Why not saris?
I really think that would be interesting, but you will never wear the same sari again. You know.
But, you know, I guess to those that are traditional and purist, they would say that these saris have been handed down from generation to generation. So, you know,
that's okay to have.
Some are 60, 70 years old, and they were made back in, you know, old-fashioned times by hand. So those aren't the ones you're going to want to rent out. But if you're just trying to be fashionable, then sure, why not, you know? Make sure that your closet doesn't get full, and yet you still wear something new every time.
That's right. Have you seen the movie Raw 1?
Shah
Rukh Khan's, you know, superhero movie?
I have not, but folks, this is getting quite a lot of attention because it is the first time that Indian Bollywood has come out with a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
With the kind of special effects that it has. It's a 3D movie. And the idea of the Hollywood-style action hero with these powers, superpowers, is kind of a new concept for India. We're still happy with our singing and dancing. So I don't know. I don't know if this movie is going to do very well. I don't think it has done very well, actually.
Well, I saw a review by one of the people, Paresh Shah. So he says, Bollywood meets Hollywood, but in reality it was more like a third world mentality meets first world movie making. The superb special effects, which are successful only because they were directly lifted from the handful of Hollywood movies. The remainder, however, was third world Bollywood at its worst. Audience cannot relate to inanely stupid dialogue and a series of dumb stage sequences, such as a never-ending fight sequence at the Mumbai airport. Inappropriate and blatant sexual humor. I mean, this is Shah Rukh Khan's biggest moment. When I was in India, every television station, Shah Rukh Khan, and he was pumping out his dolls and, you know, I don't know what role he plays, but he has a doll of himself now.
Of course, Superman had a doll, Spider-Man has a doll, they all have dolls. You know, of course, you have to laugh at this story because, yes, it certainly did not pack the halls. In fact, days after its release on a public holiday, so you knew everybody was home.
Yeah.
The halls were not packed. Regular Hindi film fans complained that the film is silly, just like you said.
Yeah.
But at the same time, folks, you have to recognize that Bollywood broke new ground with this movie.
And they made a ton of money.
Now, of course, they made a ton of money. And even if it flops, which it looks like it might be headed in that direction, it doesn't matter because it still broke a frontier. And even if the first rendition of something like this wasn't successful, the movie that comes behind it and capitalizes on everything this one got wrong might actually succeed. And the other thing is, there are so many kids in India, and up until now, they've only ever been able to relate to a Hollywood-style action hero, one that didn't look like them, didn't resemble them, and always came home with the blonde girl, right? I mean, it's not that way now. I mean, for at least now, with the Raw 1, they can relate to an Indian Bollywood-style action hero, superhero for that matter. And even though we've done these kind of movies in the past, the sci-fi action sequences, the 3D nature of this movie make it different. And you have to at least applaud people for attempting this movie.
You know, you remind me of Barbie dolls. You know, Barbie dolls for the longest time were always Caucasian. Always Caucasian. Then they finally realized maybe we can have a black Barbie doll. They came out with it. And now you got sari-clad, and you got Chinese, and you got all kinds of Barbie dolls. Of course, they're making a ton of money. And yes, and of course, these countries get used to it. But when I see Shah Rukh Khan, it always reminds me that there is a huge competition between Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, Amir Khan. These are three Khans that are really competitive. And you know, the biggest money maker is Salman Khan. The most money maker with the highest prestige is Amir Khan. And then you got Shah Rukh Khan. Very popular.
Each has its own place, right?
Yes.
I mean, Amir Khan appeals to the intellectual types. He's broken Hollywood ground. He's had a few movies go to the Oscars. Then you have Salman Khan, the original bohunk. I mean, he really introduced the whole shirtless man and muscles bursting. And Shah Rukh Khan is the everyman's hero, the everyday, every person's hero.
Right.
He's very down to earth. For once, Hollywood cannot compete with Bollywood in the sense that we have so many leading heroes that have such a fan base underneath them. And so I credit all of the Khans, and I hope we see a few more.
Yes.
Well, folks, this is a new twist on an old theme. You know, we've talked about how wedding investigators is a big booming economy in India. Basically, you know, before you get married, you want to check out the groom and his family, and so you hire a private investigator to make sure everything's sound, financially sound.
Got to do due diligence.
Got to make sure there's no issues before you go ahead and take the plunge. But here's the twist. These days, private investigators aren't just investigating the groom and his past relationships and his financial status. A growing number of cases also concern the character of the would-be mother-in-law. So what do? They basically go around tailing the mother-in-laws to see what their shopping habits are. How often do they yell at the people around them? Yeah. Are they nice to the vendors and the shops that they go to?
If the family lives together.
Of course, but the reality is, in India, it is still common for the bride to live with her in-laws.
That's right.
And so, therefore, the girl's got to know not just the kind of man she's marrying, but what kind of mother-in-law am I signing myself up for?
Because you don't marry the man, you marry the family.
That's right, you marry the families. So they do everything. You know, does she get angry? How often does she get angry? You know, does she throw things around when she gets angry? How many times does she go shopping? What does she spend her money on? Basically, they put everything into writing, and they create a little report on the mother-in-law that they give to the bride's family, the bride-to-be's family, so that the bride knows exactly what she's getting into. I just thought this was funny because for so many years in Bollywood, the mother-in-law has been caricatured as like this, you know, mean, angry woman who just never ever likes her son's bride. Well, now she's got to be a little careful because these private investigators might reveal something about the family, and the bride just might say no. Not because the groom is rotten, but because the mother-in-law is.
You remember now. All those mothers are watching you. All of a sudden, you put them on a defense, and you understand that this is a Thanksgiving weekend. Are you kidding me? Now you're making every mother, you know, it used to be a proprietary right to scream and yell on this. Now you're saying she can't do that.
I'm just saying mother-in-laws have an opportunity to make nice with their brides-to-be, and that's just good for harmony of the whole house, you know? They don't have to cling to that sort of old-style mentality. They can just be friends and friendly. What's wrong with that?
That's very true. And, folks, everybody knows this Thursday is Thanksgiving, and certainly time to be with your family. But like Asta said, you know, spread a lot of joy, a lot of love.
And a lot of food.
Little screaming is like a spice in it, you know, and I don't mind that, right?
Well, as long as there's enough food and enough dessert to go around, then everybody's happy.
That's right. Well, folks, that's about all we have for you. We sincerely wish you a very wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. Namaskar.
Namaste.